Economist Raul Lucas contends that the government's institutions are failing. His comments came during the podcast Nation Watch. Recently, President Irfan Ali called his ministers, engineers, consultants, and contractors from their beds to berate them over failed and failing contracts.
Are the consultants on these projects required to prepare periodic reports? Who is required to review these periodic reports? What criteria are required to trigger a decision at the level of those overseeing these projects? To halt a project, to remove a contractor from a project, or find some other remedy, to deal with a project that might be falling behind.
He said that the Inter-American Development Bank had identified the problems faced by the government way back in 2023.
The procurement framework could represent a challenge for executing the capital expenditure budget. Capital projects are also challenged by weak capacity in the Ministry of Public Works Service Group. Strengthening contract management would contribute to streamlining infrastructure project development. All of these areas represent important challenges to the government's resource absorptive capacity.
The IDB report came after the government had withdrawn all the money from the Natural Resources Fund.
In the days without oil money, we couldn't spend the capital budget. We already had those problems. And we have scaled up this budget 10, 12 times what it was in those days. And we expect to have the capacity to spend that kind of money.
At the same time, the gold industry is attracting labor from the other industries. The infrastructure budget is some $700 billion. Many of the projects are no more than 40% complete. Marvin Williams, who hosted the program, said that 42% of the money voted goes elsewhere.
Let's assume that 40% of the money is spent and 42% has disappeared. That's 82% of the money already spent on projects 40% complete. Where are we going? What does this say for the Procurement Commission? What does it say for the Central Tender Board? What does it say? What do you envisage coming out from an Auditor General report?
President Irfan Ali has already accepted that projects aren't being completed in a timely manner and within the budgetary allocation.
That leaves us with a situation in which we will have to find fresh money in order to complete those projects.
So we must pay twice.
We're paying twice for the same work. But what is even more discomforting for me is to know that at least 42% of that money cannot be accounted for.